What's up, y'all? It's a beautiful evening over here in Southern California, and I got off work early today. Got the barbecue going, waiting those charcoals to light up. There's about a dozen vultures circling above me. Maybe they think I'm about to croak. Hopefully not, but we're gonna knock on wood, make sure that we all good. And you know what else we got today? Because we got off work early. We're doing a little celebrating. I got my mug here from my good friend. You can find him on Instagram at Michael's Mugs. And if you need a skull mug or any other cool variety of mug, this guy makes the coolest varieties. He's got some cool stuff, especially around the holidays. I know he gets some cool stuff going around Halloween. I think Halloween's probably my favorite. You know me, I'm just kind of like, I want to drink out of a skull. I'm just that kind of guy. Anyway, but Christmas, maybe Easter, who knows? Anyway, at Michael's Mugs, wherever you're at. And, you know, as you might remember from last time, we got sage grouse leather. Another good friend of mine, River, who makes the coolest hand-tooled leather. So I don't know why, but today we gravitated towards some friend stuff. So I'm gonna have a sip. You know what I got in here? It's the Bullet Rye, because I decided I'm not spending money on liquor anymore, more than I have to, because the Bullet Rye for like $20 for a bottle, after that it seems like it's diminishing returns. So anyway, I'm gonna drink to that. Cheers. Happy Saturday, y'all. Ooh, wait. All right. So now let's get into some knives. I got some cool stuff today. What was in my pocket today were these three. And that's why I brought them. And then I got these two out because I just thought they were cool. Actually, these three out because I thought this is what I want to show you. And you know what? Before we get into knives, I'm going to show you something. Because I've been digging up the crystals lately out of the ground. And look how cool this is. It's got this like kind of, I think they call that a potato husk. I don't know too much about rocks, but this is some kind of an agate or chalcedony. And it's got this kind of husky part on the outside. And this more crystally, I think they call that the microcrystalline or cryptocrystalline or something. And it's a kind of quartz, but the crystal structure is small, so it doesn't have the pointy points like quartz you'll sometimes see. Anyway, when you can dig up cool stuff like this, you start nerding out on rocks. And here's a cool one that's just like, it looks cool from any angle, and the way it breaks, you can kind of see that one. Now when it's wet, oh boy, it looks even cooler. Hold on, let me see what we do here. All right, let's see. Sometimes you just gotta, you know, what are the kids saying these days? I think the kids are saying Haktua. You gotta spit on that thing. You know, if you didn't know, we're in the doghouse right now. We dirty dogs around here, but you know, even if you're not, you're welcome to stay by. But just know that you're in the presence of animals, or an animal at least. That being me, because you know what, you gotta connect to nature. You have to. If you're not connected to it, you gotta reconnect to it. So check this out. Today's theme is sort of friends, because a friend of mine made this leather. A friend of mine made my cup. A friend of mine gave me this knife right here. Another friend of mine gave me this knife right here. You know, not necessarily give as in like give, but you know, friend. I got this from a friend, and I got this from a friend. I found this from Mother Nature, who I hope is a friend. Got this from a friend. I got my cup from a friend. It's We're getting friend zoned right now, which is the best place to be with me. Anyway, so check this thing out. This thing is pretty cool. This has a so this is the 940 Osborne. I think it might be the 941 or 942 something, whichever one's got the carbon fiber handles. These are nice carbon fiber handles too. Look at that. Then I had to get the Lynch clip for that. It's, I don't know, his like not quite black, something, whichever one sounded the most kind of cool, whichever the coolest sounding finish option was, something like I don't know, like Mountain Forge black, or like, I don't know, something cool. Anyway, you know, we also got the backspacer there. That was built or machined by Rock Scale Designs. Very cool. So I've over the years I bought several things from Lynch, mostly clips and stuff like that. And my bug out, which you might see in another video, is filled with the Rock Scale Design stuff. And man, Rock Scale Designs just makes your knife go from feeling like a flimsy thing that's sort of held together with little pieces to like, oh, you got a solid piece of machined titanium back there. We in business now, because you know what? The flimsiness, that's sort of one of the complaints you sometimes hear about Benchmades. It's like, is that going to hold up under pressure? And I'll tell you what, I don't know, because I'm not a hard use guy, but it definitely feels a lot more solid when you got that back there. Now, one of the things I've heard about this model as far as a negative goes is you got a little wiggle on the blade when it's in its closed position. That's true here. And you know what? I only know that because I checked after I watched the video, because this does not affect use at all. Not a negative at all in my eyes. Now, if you look here, look what we got. A thumb stud that's got a tritium. I've never said that word before. I've only read it. Anyway, I'm going to go with tritium. So we got that tritium thumb stud there. So if it's lost in the dark, you can look for the minus symbol and find your knife. And if you didn't notice, we got a different blade on here than the blade this knife came with. This is actually a totally different blade than what it came with. It's the same profile for the 940 Osborne, which is this kind of like, I don't know, modified sheep's foot. It's fucking awesome. Excuse my French. I try to keep my, you know, your boy's a dog. I'm not gonna lie, and I try to keep it pretty PG for the channel. But you know, like I said, we just got off work. We got the barbecue going, and actually, I'm gonna have to jump over to it. So, you know, we've been drinking out of the cup, and that gets me rambling a little bit, which is a beautiful thing. But yeah, we gotta get that steak on the grill, otherwise my baby mama ain't gonna be pleased. So yeah, this blade, Gersh, it's a reblade, full flat grind, really cool grind on this, and oh boy is it sharp. You know, I never would have got something like this except a buddy of mine. I don't know, we did a trade, or I bought it from him or something. Anyway, you know who you are. Now we got it pimped the fuck the heck out with the Rock Scale backspacer. Now we got a real big boy knife, and we got the pocket clip. Yeah, this thing's just sweet. Great action. I'm gonna try not to curse like a sailor, but it's flippin' sweet. If you're a knife guy, you know, and if you're not a knife guy, what are you doing here? Maybe you want to be a knife guy, let me know. So this is, you know, whatever you gotta do, this is gonna take care of you. And if it doesn't, maybe you need a fixed blade, in which case you grab one of these. I got the Bark River Essential here, CPM 154. That's a kind of steel, if you didn't know. I don't give a shit about steel. I don't give a hoot about steel. If it's sharp and it cuts, I'm good with it. And if it's not, guess what? I got a excuse me, was with me today. It must be the something. Anyway, I don't care as long as it's sharp. If it's not sharp, I'm going to grab another knife because I got about 100 of them. I definitely have more than 100 knives. I got way too many knives, y'all. Good problem to have. The Essential. And you know what? You got plastic handles on the Essential. I don't care what anybody says. This is what you want. I guess we got some liners on there too. I don't even care. If the liners weren't there, we wouldn't care because we got the Essential. And essentially, this is all you're ever really going to need. No matter what situation you're in, unless you're in a knife fight and you want something longer. But besides that, you got the handle there. It's plastic, but it's the best plastic. We do have the best plastic here. Let's get to some more plastic. We've got this. A friend of mine gave this to me, and that was like actually gave it to me sort of a situation. You know who you are. Thank you. And we got a super nice edge on there. Like I said, we got plenty of knives we can reach for if we don't have a sharp one. This one is sharp, and we can reach for that, and it's going to take care of what we got to take care of. This one's Super Tinker. What makes this Tinker super is the scissors, and I have to agree, those scissors are nice because you got this slightly larger size Swiss Army knife. Those scissors are big. We got scissors over here too. This is something I just snagged for myself. But you know what? You got to be your own best friend sometimes, so you just got to get yourself a knife. I forget the name of this model, but I will say it's probably the best Swiss Army knife you can get as far as like slender, tiny little package. Look at that. That's coin pocket friendly. You got a blade, which you never use, because if you're watching this channel, you got a cooler blade to use. Who cares? Because look, your cooler knife does not have this tool. This will clean under your fingernails. This will smooth out those rough edges because, you know, look at my hands. I'm somewhat a soft-handed kind of a guy, but you know what? I serve people for a living. These hands work. They're working hands. And sometimes before you start your shift and before you take care of your favorite people, that you want to make sure have the best time at your bar, because you know what? We're pouring the drinks. That's what we're doing. If we're not doing it for ourselves, we're doing it for someone else. And you don't want to pour drinks when you got all sorts of nastiness under your fingernails. So you got your tool right here. You take care of that. I use this tool way more than I use the blade on this knife, or even the scissors, which, you know what? I pretty much always have this in my coin pocket. If not, I got like the same thing but a little smaller pretty much. These scissors come out from time to time. The tweezers come out if the kid's got an issue. Sometimes he gets his hands into some stuff that hurts, and you know what? Every time I take my break when I'm on my shift, I have something to eat, and when I'm done eating, I clean my teeth out because I don't want my guests to think like, who the heck is this slob over here? Anyway, I put that right back in my pocket because you never know when you're gonna need it. I'm probably gonna need it soon. This fire is just about ready to, give it another couple minutes. Some of y'all are here for the Great Easterns, the Great Eastern Cutlery. So what we got in the pocket today is this. It's a 39. It's brand new. This just rolled out of the factory a month ago, 2 months at most. And boy, do we have a winner here. This is the 39. And they put it together real nice. If you know me, you know what I like. I like a bear head jack, check. I like wood handles, check. I like a clip point with a nail nick, check. Oh, and I like, a nice snappy pull. That's right. That does it for me. I could do without the etch, but you know what? This knife's new. We haven't become very well acquainted yet. I've been carrying you in the pocket, but you know what? When it's time for business, we're grabbing the Benchmade. Sorry about that. We like these knives because they're cool, not because they're the most practical tech that we have available today. And you know what? If this is all you got in your pocket, you're gonna get through your day. You're gonna make the cuts you gotta make. But you know what we got here? This is a box I usually prefer to leave unchecked. And that's a second blade. But you know what? Ooh, we got nice action there. A slightly softer pull on our secondary blade, which is not really more secondary at all. This is a full blade here, and we got a whole separate well for it. Nice light pull on that one. I'd prefer if it was just as tight as the clip, but you know what? We got the clip. Now, something you don't see in my regular stack is going to be jigged handles. I don't have too much textured kind of knives. Most of the knives I carry are more on the smooth side, but this one's got this like funky beaver tail shield and these quite textured Brazilian cherry wood, a jigged hardwood. So you know what? I'm looking forward to see how these age as I carry them in my pocket every day. Now this is a perfect little size for your coin pocket. The 15, the Great Eastern Cutlery 15 is that knife everybody's been, crazy about. One of Great Eastern Cutlery's claims to fame is the 15 model, especially when you got that nice bare head, wood handle, nail nick clip point. Oh, you're just doing it for me right there. But this has a slight curve to it, and that makes it different than the 15, but just hardly. Makes this one a 39. We love it. So we talked about the rock. We talked about the fixed blade. We talked about the modern. We talked about our big Swiss. We talked about the little Swiss switches in the pocket, and talked about that. We talked about our cup from Michael's Mugs. We talked about our slip from Sage Grouse Leather, and you got to get yourself one if you don't have it already. There's just one more. And I'm going to make this quick because everyone's been talking about the 82s. The 82 is a Abilene Stockman, or rather, this is the Dixie Stockman. It's the 81s everyone's talking about lately. The Great Eastern just made another 81, and it's not the one everybody wanted. And I heard them talking about this, that, and the other thing. And you know what? Guess what? If you've been around, you already got an 82, and you didn't have to bend over for it. And if you got a good buddy like mine, you can get one around these times, and it's not gonna do you. It's not gonna hurt you too bad to acquire. Now, you don't have the big clip. You have the muskrat clip, which is probably a more practical blade. And then you know what else you got? You got a sheep's foot right here. Warncliffe. That is. You know what? We're going with Warncliffe, but that's not too far off from a sheep's foot. This Warncliffe is a little bolder than most. Then we got a spade blade over here. We're gonna try to keep it mellow here so we don't get this knife too opened up to the point that it's sad. But you know what? We're closing all these blades. We're gonna look real close at these jig bone handles, which are the star of the show on a knife like this. Oh boy, look at that. Are we happy? Oh yeah. We're happy. We're happy like in Pulp Fiction when they see the briefcase. And you know what? I gotta go get to the barbecue before my family gets hungry. So that is all she wrote for today. And look at that. We got some cool knives. And it's Saturday night. Sun's going down. Meat's going on. And hope you all have a good one. Take it easy now.